Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to CSEC Economics. Unemployment. How to calculate it? That's what we're doing today, right? Okay, so unemployment. So first we need to say, well, who are the unemployed? How do we know who are the persons who are unemployed? You have to be willing to work, meaning you're not just sitting on the couch not looking for a job at all. You're not really you're cool with your parents giving you allowance until you're like 40, right? And you're able to work, meaning you're not injured, disabled, or withheld for some other reason, maybe because of age, right? And you also have to be actively seeking, meaning you are in pursuit of some kind of employment, right? So all of those qualify your ability to be classified as unemployed, right? So if all of these things are true and you're unable to find work, then you would be classified as unemployed, right? So we have a couple things highlighted there that make this definition very specific. So let's calculate the rate of unemployment by first determining the size of the labor force, right? So let's say we have a population of 1 million people, right? And we have a population under 16 years of 140,000. Then we have a retired population of 250,000. So that would be people over the age of 65 who, they did the time. They're not working anymore. They decided, we good. Boom. All right. And then you have a population of working age persons who are not seeking work of 35,000. So that might be, your housewives, right? That could also include your couch potatoes, right? They're just not looking for work, right? They're not interested, okay? They have other things going on, right? And then you have persons seeking employment, 41,000. And then you have employed population of 534. So let's see if we use this willing and able checklist to determine, well, who is really making up the labor force, right? So let's say the population under 16 years, right? But are they able to work? What do you think? No, right? We already ascertained that it's not legal for them to work. So we would have to put an X there because it's illegal for them to, get jobs and, be paid a salary and all of that. So they don't qualify to be part of the labor force because they are under 16, right? What about the retired population? Do you think they're willing to work? All right, Julie Meyer says no. Yeah. Well, the reason they're retired is because they don't want to work anymore, right? So they're not willing to work, right? Some of them, though, might be able, but some of them may not be able to work either, right? So willing and able, scratch that. So the retired population, they are not part of the labor force, right? So then we have the population of working age persons not seeking work. So we have housewives, couch potatoes, people who just, they're not interested, right? Willing, not willing, right? Definitely not. Able, yeah, sure, right? They are able, right? They're working age, right? Maybe nothing wrong with them. They may even have skills. But then we have people who are seeking employment, right? They're seeking employment, they're working age, they're not retired, they're not under 16. They definitely would be a yes and a yes, right? Yes and a yes. And then we have the employed population. So those are the ones who are actually in the workforce already. And they are, by their actions, definitely willing and able. So if we had to calculate the labor force, we need to have 2 check marks on each of these, willing and able, to determine that they make a part of the workforce. So we can add those 2 together, 41,000 plus 534,000. And we see we have a labor force of 575,000 in this particular 1 million population, right? So we need that in order to calculate the rate of unemployment. So let's see how we'll calculate it now. Right. The formula for the unemployment rate is the number of persons unemployed divided by the total labor force. So that's why calculating the total labor force is so critical, right? So the population of working age persons who are not seeking employment or not seeking work, 356. We're not concerned too much about them. They are not seeking work. But we are interested in persons who are seeking employment, and we are interested in the employed population. So the number of persons seeking employment, 41,000, would be those who are unemployed, right? So this figure, 41,000, that would make up the numerator. And then the labor force, which we calculated just now, would be those who are seeking employment, willing and able, plus those who are employed, also willing and able, right? So we have 41,000 over 575,000. And if we want to bring it to a percentage, we multiply by 100 to get it to a actual rate, right? Okay, I actually got 7%, 7.13%, right? So it's actually an unemployment rate of 7%, all right?